Hey everyone, and welcome to the results video of multiplayer round 58 on my Open Rollercoaster Tycoon 2 multiplayer server. Now in this round players were only allowed to place water rides, so yeah, we can see a lot of that in this round. Anyway, we got 14 finished plots, so I'll start with the one that got last place and I'll finish by announcing who is the winner of this round. Alright, in last place we have this entry from 73. I will quickly select the cutaway view in this plot. There we go. So it's a water ride, is this splash boat ride, which actually has a loop here at the bottom. And yeah, after that the trains make it up this lift hill, and then they slam into the boats in front of them, and then they have to wait quite some time before they can actually leave the boat. So let's call it a very interesting layout for the ride. And here's some weird abstract stairs which the guests use to get up to the ride and to exit again. So yeah, very interesting choice of elements here. Alright, next up is this plot from the Cloud QC, right next door. Let me see if I can select it, there we go. So it has this log flume here with the gimmick that it's actually reversed. So the guests actually travel up these water sections and they travel down these lift hills. What you should probably do for a log flume is actually have some runoff area, so the boats have some space to splash down without slamming into the sides, and that's definitely something this log flume doesn't have. But also not in front of the, let's call it, lift hills. So yeah, whatever way it would go, it probably would not be a very comfortable experience. There's also another ride here. Here we can see a small shuttle coaster. I actually quite like this, called Small Launcher. And I think it has a fun layout. You can see it getting launched here. Here's another booster, and then it does the track backwards as well. So yeah, I actually quite like how this building here looks. Alright, next up is this plot from 2IQ. I believe this is the first round that he joined, and he made a really dense plot. It's just full of water rides. You can see this river rapids going around here. There's a log flume, there's river rafts, there's a water coaster. You even built a swinging ship. Well, technically it's not a water ride, but I allowed them for this round. See rowing boats here, even submarines. So yeah, just a ton of rides just crammed into this plot. Also a little bit of scenery. You can see some houses here in the corner, a little castle here on top. So yeah, just very dense. Well, nothing very spectacular in the form of scenery. Kind of reminds me of how I would build in my early years of playing this game. It's very dense, and yeah, I think overall it's a quite fun plot to look at. Alright, the next plot is next door. It's from NFE. He made this slide with the beautiful name Death Plunge. So yeah, I guess travel up this lift hill, and then they go down into this tube, which actually dips underwater or under this little island. I think that's actually pretty cool. And after that, it goes on this 180-degree curve before it splashes down here at the end. Now, maybe it would have been nice to actually have a little bit of a break section here, just to make it more apparent that it's splashing down here. Because right now these dinghies just move on here to the end, and then they come to an abrupt stop here in the station. Now there's also some funny things here. You can see a pirate with the name Where Is My Boat? And if we look around, you can actually find this boat somewhere here on this plot. Now I won't spoil it, but maybe in the chat or in the comments you can tell me if you have found the boat on this plot. It's here somewhere. Alright, next up is the plot from Colorblind Unicorn. It's over here in the corner. So it's this water coaster. Now I quite like the layout. Yeah, although this boat here is a little bit on the glitchy side, especially the sail here. Probably the supports were removed by putting these track pieces under surface, and that's definitely something you should not do, because here you can see what kind of stuff that will cause. But yeah, like I said, I quite like the layout for this ride. So there's water sections here, there's a lift hill over here with a simple splashdown here. Then after that there's another lift hill with a more twisty section, bit of an airtime hump before it splashes down here in the water. Kind of like a Mack water coaster layout. Yeah, something which is a little bit weird. Well, of course I already mentioned the glitching here, but also this yeah, where it goes from this water coaster track to the hardline twister track. Yeah, that looks a little bit off. That probably could have been done in a nicer way. Maybe I'm making this track piece invisible and just extending this track piece into the water. That probably would have looked nicer. But yeah, like I already said, I quite like the layout in this plot. Alright, and next up is the plot that's right next to here. Here's the entry from Debrew. He made this big raft. It's called Brew Raft Base. So yeah, it looks like a big ship indeed, or a raft. There's this. There's actually two pairs of water slides on here. I think they look really cool. Yeah, I really like the way this looks. They look quite nice. At first I thought there were only two water slides here, but there's actually four. Only two of them have helixes, so they're a little bit more prominent. But yeah, I think that looks really cool. Also some nice foliage here, some nice decorations here on the raft. Yeah, it's definitely a cool setting for a little park. Yeah, we can also see a boat ride here. I believe the guests fall into the water here. Escape the Titanic. And then they go all around the raft. Over here they climb this lift, and then finally they drop down here into the water. So yeah, not really sure what guides these boats here in the water, but for sure it does look like a fun ride. Alright, for the entries after this, well, the scores are all pretty close. The actual number of people that voted in this round was quite low, and there were people with lots of varying opinions. So yeah, any one vote could have put all the coming plots in a different order again. So please keep that in mind as we go through the next entries. Okay, here's the plot from Rhythm. So let me quickly do the cutaway view. There we go. So yeah, I thought this plot was beautiful. I really like the way this slide here looks. And Rhythm actually uses the River Rapids boats for this slide, so it's supposed to look like one of those slides with one of those inflatable rafts on it. Now I think this looks really cool. Also love how the supports here look. Yeah, I think it's just done really well. Also love all the bright colors here of all the track elements. I love this little water play castle. That's also great. Some nice shops here as well. Yeah, I think it's all very lovely scenery throughout this plot. Now there were also a bit of things that were a bit on the lazy side. For example, here we have these rafts, and they're all called Unknown Ride 38-1. And here we have Unknown Ride 38-4. So yeah, probably it would have been nice to at least give those a name. These shops here also have not been named. So yeah, that may be a little bit on the lazy side. But still, I think this is a really cool looking plot from Rhythm. Okay, next up is the plot from Lurker. Now a Lurker often has connection issues, so if he is able to join for a while, then he usually builds something really fast. And that's definitely visible in this plot. As it's mostly landscaping. But still, I think Lurker did the landscaping in a really cool way. So here we have a little bit of a building here. You can actually look inside here and we can see some scenery. Let's quickly do the cutaway view. It's even fully decorated here on the inside with some spooky scenery. So that's actually really cool. I like when people actually take the time to decorate buildings on the inside, even though probably quite a few people will not actually look there. But yeah, his plot has river rafts, right? Yeah, quite a nice landscaping here in the middle, just a really jagged landscape. We see a little bit of a castle tower here, some little buildings over here, a little bridge going over the track. Yeah, I just love also the way the station looks over here. Some nice decoration here for the paths as well. So yeah, this once again a wonderful plot from Lurker. Alright, here's the plot from raymondl. Now I love this. I love this plot. I think the colors on this plot are really amazing, and the decorations as well. These palm trees, I think they, yeah, they're really cool. I just love this design. There's lots of single rail coaster track pieces here. Also some of these oil barrels stacked up. There's also a little shoestring ride over here called Whirlpool. We can also see a boat here. Not really sure I like the shape of the boat, but I do like its colors. I'll see a mast here with some sails. It is a little bit on the glitchy side sometimes, but still I think it looks amazing. I think it looks really cool. We also have this water slide here, also in very tropical colors. And yeah, I'm definitely a very big fan of this plot. Alright, next up is the plot from sapphyadam. Now, actually, when the round was over, there was a really big guest trap here. Adam actually put the exit of his ride right here on the path. It was invisible, but guests cannot pathfind through paths. So, yeah, actually, a lot of guests were just walking back and forth over here. So I actually stepped in and fixed that. But yeah, that was definitely a little bit annoying. But still, I think sapphyadam just put a really cool plot together here. I love this slide that travels here around the outside of the map. I think it's a great color scheme as well. I love the yeah, alternating colors that he used on this track. Also like that he actually put quite a long runoff area here for the guests. It's always a good thing to do for these water slides. There's also some other slides here in the middle. Yeah, I think I really like their location here, right in the sitting in the middle of this larger track. Yeah, probably the only thing I would do in this plot is maybe place something here on the grass, just so it stays clear, or mow the grass, or yeah, probably it could have used some yeah, decoration or something. That's this rough grass here on the sides. Yeah, I think it looks a bit off. Alright, next up is the plot from Ridarius. He made this huge, very imposing structure with a cool dude on top. But yeah, it's an amazing structure. A big, what looks like an aqueduct here on top with some canoes going around. Over here there's a splash boats track which travels all around this section here. So maybe a little bit tough to see, but first there's a smaller drop here, and later it goes higher, and then it travels through this larger drop. But yeah, I think it's a pretty cool layout, and yeah, definitely a really nice structure. Now, the only thing I probably would have maybe changed is yeah, these boats splash down here, and then somehow they travel on this track here. Yeah, maybe it would be nice if there was actually if this splash boats track was actually extended here. This so it looks a lot more like the boats would actually be guided by that. But I guess having this track here right under the water surface also kind of works. Alright, in third place we have this entry from mauricio. Now I had to look twice, but yeah, I thought I actually recognized this layout, and maybe easier to see if I hide the scenery. But this is actually the exact same track layout that I used for my realistic river rapids tutorial. It was one of my earliest videos that I made, and it's actually my most watched video on YouTube. So I thought this was really cool when I saw it. Now he actually mirrored the track, but yeah, I think it's really fun what he did here. Now, even though it was my first tutorial, I think there's quite a lot that could be improved. Also in my version, for example, I would always try to fill up the gaps behind the barriers in the track. Yeah, to be fair, Risiko did actually do that in most of the areas here, so it's not all that bad. But yeah, still, I think Risiko did a really great job decorating this River Rapids ride. I really like the station for the ride. Yeah, that's probably my favorite part. It just looks really good. You also see a little tower over here. Yeah, I believe the queue for the ride actually travels through here, or maybe this is just decoration because I see a little bench here. Yeah, this queue here just looks to be a decoration. Yeah, also another cool trick that Risiko used here is that he made this ice castle, and actually consists of several smaller ice castles. I think that's just a fun way to use this scenery object and make it a little bit more useful than it usually is. So yeah, a wonderful plot from Risiko, and I think it's just a real nice throwback to one of my earliest tutorials. Alright, there's just 2 plots remaining. I will first show both of them, and after that I will reveal which one is the winner of this round. Alright, here's the plot from FlickSpy. I will use the cutaway view once again. There we go. So yeah, I think this is a really cool looking water coaster. You can see it has 2 lift hills. Yeah, and I think it's a really interesting track layout that it follows here. So first off, here's the station. After that, the coaster cars travel up this lift hill. They follow this helix and then they splash down over here. And then after that they travel up this lift hill, which is slightly higher, do another little helix, and then finally they splash down here as well. Now quite often they're also nicely synchronized. Sadly they're not right now, but quite often you could see them splash down on both tracks at exactly the same moment, so that's always quite nice to see. I really like this this castle that he made here, or this castle-like scenery, also with a little flag on it. The little islands as well. So it's definitely probably one of the most interesting plots in this map. Now what I think would have improved this a little bit more, maybe would have been some trees on this island, maybe a palm tree or 2. Let me quickly see what that looks like if I disable clearance checks. I think that would have made it, yeah, that would have just finished it. Yeah, let me quickly remove them again. But yeah, for sure, I think this entry from FlickSpy, this looks really nice. Alright, and the final plot is from LowPolySurf. LowPolySurf made this log flume here. Now, first of all, it's beautifully decorated in this Egyptian style. Especially this section over here, just has some beautiful ruins around it. A nice and simple queue here. I believe this is where the guests get onto the ride. Yeah, so let's see. Yeah, it's quite difficult to follow since the layout just goes all throughout and over this little plot of land. So yeah, it's actually quite nice how all this track was just fitted inside of this plot here. Now some nice landscaping as well, with of course all these ruin pieces, some nice foliage as well. And this final drop, what I like most actually, that it has a little airtime hill, just like the ride Chiapas at Fantasialand, or Chappies as we like to call it. Now as for the layout of the ride, what I would probably have changed myself if I made this ride is that after, on a log flume, after the final drop, yeah, that's usually the place where the guests get soaked the most. So after that, it usually simply returns back to the station. But this one actually has another lift hill and another drop. So yeah, that's for a log flume, that is quite unusual. Alright, I've now just captured both of these plots here on my screen. Here you can see the one from FlickSpy. Here we can see the one from LowPolySurf. Now it's time to reveal which one of these plots is the winner of this round. And the winner of multiplayer round 58, where players could only build water rides, is... LowPolySurf. Hey, like I already said, a lot of these scores for these entries were really close together, and the number of voters was quite low. So if you disagree with any of these scores, or if you disagree with how these plots are ranked, well, then you should have just voted in this round. Everybody who is a member on my Discord server is allowed to give all these entries a rating. So I definitely encourage you to rate the entries for these contests. But yeah, some wonderful plots in this round, beautifully detailed plots as well. Some really nice ones. And I think LowPolySurf is really a deserved winner. Alright, I hope you enjoyed watching all these entries. I hope you enjoyed this contest. A new multiplayer round will start soon. If you want to join, simply become a member on my Discord server. You need to be a trusted member on my Discord server to be able to join these rounds. But if you're active on my community, then you'll reach that soon enough. Alright, if you like these entries, please consider giving this video a like, and I'll see you again in the next video. See you later.